Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today it's finally Monday and we have the next Q&A. This is episode 3. And just a quick reminder, if you want to be shown off in the Q&A, just throw a question out in the comment on this video or on Discord or on Reddit or whatever you want to. I'm just gonna heart that comment and you're gonna get your answer in the next video on the next Monday. And also, a lot of you guys DM me on Discord and shit like that about merchandise, t-shirts and shit like that. And we actually do have a store with designs I made for, you know, a couple of classes and more to come in the works. So the link is gonna be in the description. I'm just gonna take this time to show you guys really quick. So obviously we have the Marcelian Online official t-shirt with the logo on the front and on the back. Plus we have the Paladin, Druid, Hunter and Death Knight classes represented with the t-shirts. Also, Rogue and Warrior are currently in the works. So save the website if you want to like support us in this way. Just go ahead. You know, it's a really awesome t-shirt, good quality from Teespring, so it should be good. A little bit of a sellout moment over here. Move along. Let's carry on with the questions, yeah? So, first question comes from Tristesse once again. Great vid once again. Thank you. Thanks for answering my question. It was really hard to find the info. Don't mention it, man. Question for the next Q&A. 10v10 RBGs gone. Rumors say 6v6. Can you confirm? How is that even gonna work, for example, on the Rathi Basin or maps with flag carriers? I don't see a flag carrier survive that long against, for example, a rogue. Anyway, I kinda like the idea. Those fights are gonna be super intense. Right you are, Tristesse. Well, I know for a couple of months back or a year or so, there was a Q&A where they did talk about implementing 6v6 RBGs, I mean 6v6 BGs into the rated system. Not completely remove the 10v10, but when you want to play rated, you can only play 6v6. This was an idea back when they had the PvP summit and shit like that. They went silent about it, and we don't know anything else, so I cannot really confirm 100% anything on the matter. What we do know is that in BFA, we now have epic battlegrounds to Q4 and regular battlegrounds. And of course, the epic battlegrounds are the big ass ones, you know, Alterac Valley, Wintergrass, 12 Rat, all that jazz. Regular ones are, you know, classic, Rathi Basin, Warsong Gulch, you know, Battle for Guineas, all that. So 6v6 can definitely work, and I know a lot of like veteran RBG players kind of vow for that as well. It's just that, you know, there's a good point on bigger maps such as Rathi Basin. How would that work? And I think it would work. It would just be a problem where people will just have to adapt. But intense 100%, and it can really make up for a nice esport thingy, like, you know, streaming rated battlegrounds, you know, having, you know, contests and shit like that. When it's like 6v6, it's easier, you know, to stream and comment on that shit and moderate, you know, and live stream it rather than, you know, 10v10 when it can be a bit chaotic. But, you know, awesome question, man. Thanks for the love. Keep it coming. Okay, next one is from Void Tracks. Great vid as always. Thank you, man. I've made my Ret since Burning Crusade and was curious what's your favorite expansion for Ret gameplay. Mine would be probably Warlords of Draenor or Wrath of the Lich King. Well, yeah, I think most Ret Paladins would say either Wrath or Warlords. I personally loved Warlords of Draenor. I talked about this with Savix in the WoW Tshirts episode with him. Warlords of Draenor had Ret Paladins be as complete as they can be. This is how I felt, at least. We had, like, you know, our kit was 100% on point. You know, we had the utility, we had the damage, we had the mobility. Everything was working for us. Now, a lot of Ret Paladins say Wrath, and I personally don't agree with Wrath being the best for us, just because there's two reasons for it, right? One, it was mostly really easy to play and do stuff, and this happened because of the patch Argent Crusade, I think it was 3.3.2, I don't know, somewhere along those lines, where, you know, our Divine Storm and Judgment were like super crazy, hitting like super OP damaging, and that lasted for I think about 2 weeks. Then, you know, Ghostcrawler came along and that's it, you're gone. So I wouldn't base my favorite expansion for Ret as Wrath just because of that two-week window where we shined. And, you know, our shine wasn't really that on merit because it was really easy to dish out damage. You just like make a cast sequence macro and you would kill everybody off. It was like, you know, stupid. But Warlords, definitely, we had everything going for us. So I'm with you on the same boat in regards to expansion. Warlords of General 100%, man. Thank you for it. Keep them coming. Let's move along here. Next question is from Sliced. Awesome dude. We know this guy. We play with him. I mean, we used to play a lot with him, especially in the Heroes of the Storm days. And I'm happy he posted the question himself. So, if you could not pick Paladin for PvP, what class would you pick? Well, you know, I'm not gonna involve rogues here because I do play a rogue as well for PvP. But I definitely would pick a monk. I'm actually leveling a monk as well. I used to love playing monk in Mist of Pandaria and in Warlords. I haven't played in Legion one of them, but I just love the mechanic of the Windwalker monk. You know, just the sheer fact that you always have to use different abilities and not repeat the same ability twice to increase your damage is really awesome to me. It's just a little bit of a skill cap over there. Plus the fact that you have a lot of mobility. They were nerfed a little bit with the paralyze, you know, increased cooldown and all that jazz. But overall, I still believe they're really strong, and I'm definitely looking forward to play a monk as well in BFA. So that would be my choice, Sliced, for PvP. Windwalker monks. Thank you for the question, man. Keep them coming. Okay, next one is from Evil Devil. Hey man, what's your thought on the new races, PvP wise? Any motive to choose any of them other than aesthetics, as well as Demon Hunter viable in any spec, and I want a beard too. Well, dog, if you come to Romania, you know, let me know, I'm gonna get you a beer. So the new races PvP wise, I've tried the Dark Iron Dwarf. That's good. I mean, aesthetics aside, you know, I'm not gonna choose aesthetics in PvP. It's just you know, if I want a PvP and not like super competitive, but let's say somewhere in the 2K realm, okay, somewhere there, I want to have that bit of an edge. So these new allied races, Dark Iron Dwarfs definitely can work, because you get rid of, you know, a lot of poisons and diseases and shit, plus you buff your primary strat, which is always good. Makar orcs as well, but generally speaking, still the classic ones will dominate, like humans and undead. Humans because of obviously the stun trinket, and undead because of the Will of the Forsaken, you know, the fear trinket. Always good. I can see regular orcs over there as well. What else? I don't know if is it the Void Elves, or you know, the elves that have the teleport. I think it's the Void Elves, where you have like the small teleport that can also work for PvP as well. So I'm not like super fan of all these racials necessarily for PvP. I'm gonna stick to my human on my humans on the alliance side, and when I'm gonna make horde, I'm probably gonna make undead and Makar orcs probably. We will just gonna have to see. But thank you for the question, dog, and if you come to Romania, holla at me. Gonna get you a beer. Next question comes from Iaskascom Gaming. I played Paladin classes in a lot of different MMORPGs. Mobility is seemingly something we always lack. Okay. On one hand, I would like to have more mobility. On the other hand, we cannot be a warrior with heals now, can we? It's basically what they started off. I mean, Blizzard's philosophy at the beginning was, yeah, a warrior that could heal, you know, save others and sacrifice himself. What are your thoughts on adding more CC so when we do connect, we can keep our target within our reach? Interesting idea, man. Actually love it. But what CC will we talk about here? We already have a stun, which has quite an awesome mechanics, probably the best stun in the game because of the cooldown reduction mechanic. Maybe some sort of like roots or big ass slow when you hit or when you get hit, but that would nerf Hammer of Justice obviously, and we still have Hand of Hindrance, which is a 70% slow. But I would say if whenever we get hit, we get, you know, infused by the light, then we get our movement speed increased, right? It's a good idea actually having that CC, but there has to be a flip side to it. You know, there has to be a trade-off, and you know, I can definitely see this work, but I'm gonna like revert the question back to you. So what would be the trade-off if, for example, we have a mechanic where people get slowed if they hit us, or when we hit them, we have our, you know, movement speed increased? Let me know in this video, man, and we're gonna carry it on next Monday, okay? Thanks for the question, really awesome. Keep them coming. Okay, next question is from Sun4K. I love this dude, he's really active on the channel. So let's see, love the channel even if I hate paladins with a passion. You're probably a rogue. I have two questions. Do we still have that PvP awful stats template in BFA? Nah, man, they're gone. I mean, gear matters now, but more specifically, the stats on the gear matter, and the Azerite traits matter even more, so you have to know what the fuck you're doing, man. And do you think assassination rogues are depending too much on cooldowns to be effective? If we take sub, for example, it has more mobility, better control, and of course an excellent burst. Yep. You just need one shadow dance to turn the tide. On the other hand, as a sin rogue, you better have that toxic blade and vendetta ready. Oh, and let's not forget about that beautiful RNG with poison bomb. Well, of course, subtlety, if you're gonna give that example, which was recently buffed, can definitely kill you into a burst window 100%. If mastered correctly, subtlety is the best spec out of all of them, hands down. Assassination rogue, on the other hand, being too reliant on cooldowns, I don't really feel it's that way, at least not right now, because the damage from all of the poisons being up and envenom is just that high, man. I mean, I played a lot of assassination rogue on the Gladiator Sanctum, you know, everybody being at 120 with all the gear up and shit. It didn't really feel that I was that much more weaker without vendetta and toxic blade up. I mean, just think about it, right? You have, you know, the bleed from Garrote, you have the poisons, you know, applied over there, you have the rupture, you have the internal bleeding from kidney shot, and then you have the envenoms. It's just too much. And when you're talking about like 3v3 even, just think about the pressure you're gonna put dish out over there, you know, just spamming all that fucking fan of knives everywhere, applying poison left and right, and if paired up with an affliction warlock, for example, it's just gonna be off the charts. So I don't feel we're that reliant as assassination rogues on cooldowns. I think you can deliver a huge amount of pressure even without vendetta and toxic blade. Toxic blade and vendetta just add up to the already high pressure, right? I mean, that just should secure something. And the RNG from Poison Bomb, again, it's an RNG that you're not really that dependent on. It's just an addition to an already pressuring situation. So that's my 2 cents in it, man. But let me know what's your thought about it. I don't believe we're relying that much on it. Thank you for the question, man. Keep on coming. Alright, so next question is from John. What do you do for a living, man? I cannot tell if you're 25 or 55. Oh man, I get this all the time. Silver Fox. So this is coming from like the silver hair. I know this is genetical. Like as I said, I'm 31 years old, and I have white silver hair since like I was in like the 8th grade or something. Like my pops used to have it when he was a little kid. It's just something that's in the family. Now, you know, I'm not gonna dye it out or shit like that. You know, it's a trademark, so you know, fucking live with it, son. And what do I do for a living? Well, I do a lot of things for a living. I used to work in a big ass corporation for Xbox, actually, quite a lot of years. And I just said, you know, fuck the corporate life, you know, I want to be as independent as possible, get to enjoy life. So right now I have my own business on Amazon. That's one thing. I do a lot of graphical editing and video editing for, you know, different businesses or people and shit like that. And I'm also having a lot of fun with this YouTube. Now, of course, there's not a lot of money within the YouTube space. It could be at some point, but I'm loving it. It's something that I really enjoy doing, and you know, this is partially reason I'm thinking maybe to stream or not, you know, just adding the complete package, because adding stream to the whole mix will take up a lot more time. We'll just have to see how it works, but I hope it answers the question, man, and don't worry about it, I can appreciate a joke. Keep on coming, John. Next one is from our very own Hell Hunter, one of our Patreons. Is rogue viable in PvE? I've had a rogue, but I feel it's pretty weak, especially in the early level. Nah, man, it's really good in PvE. I played it in the main BFA, not on Gladiator Sanctum. I played a couple of dungeons, Assassination, Outlaw, even so, all specs are really good for PvE. No problem, you can do good AoE damage and single target damage. And when it comes to the leveling side of things, I'm telling you, man, rogue was like one of the easiest classes to level, just because you have a lot of stealth and resets. You don't have to always tag 100 mobs or get, you know, aggro by mobs. You just stealth around and do a lot of the quests like that. And you're not really in danger of dying too many times, because you can always reset with Vanish. So go ahead and take your rogue to max level, man. You're gonna have a lot of fun with it, I'm telling you. Thanks for the question, Hunter, and the support as well, man. Right on, next question is from Farewell Retribution. Oh man, this dude is with us since like from the early days, man. I mean, you know, Cataclysm Mob, I don't remember exactly, but he stuck around. And you know, Farewell, I want to thank you once again, man, for sticking around and didn't unsubscribe. So let's see, great vid, thanks. And I have a question, motherfucker. Of course, you speak about mobility to Tyrallians might is cool, but what if they remove One Bow Freedom, the PvP talent, and put in a talent that makes Divine Steed to remove Root and Snare instead? That's actually a great idea, dog, and I do believe at some point in the forums, like I think 2 years ago or something like that, you know, prior to Legion, there was a talk on the forums regarding this shit, and they did mention it, this was on the table. But there was nothing since then, so actually this is a really good one. I would agree, fuck Unbound Freedom, man. What does it give? 30% movement speed increase? That would make, if they would remove that and make Divine Steed removing roots and snares, that would make Divine Steed a really viable talent for mobility. Because if you think about it right now, Divine Steed is sort of shit. Think about a Frost Mage, yeah? If a Frost Mage is gonna slow you, and it will slow you for days, when you pop that Divine Steed, it's basically you walking on a horse, you know, just parading on a horse. That's it. It doesn't help with anything. So really awesome idea. I hope they do this. Also, since I rerolled Survival Hunter as main for BFA, you betrayed the Paladins, you bastard. What do you think about Survival Hunters PvP wise? Thanks for the reply and thanks for fucking good vids. Survival Hunters PvP wise, I haven't played one myself, but I did play with them and against them on the Gladiator Sanctum, and I think they're really good. Damage wise, I think they're the weakest out of the all three of the specs, but then again, I don't really see that as being 100% the viability for PvP. They do decent damage, but I think what really shines with them is the mobility and the utility, you know, all the traps and shit like that. Really, really awesome. I would love to play alongside a Survival Hunter. I have played with them in the BFA beta. Not all of them were that good, but the ones I played against, I met a couple of them like really knew what they were doing. So 100% viable, man. If you're gonna go for like more higher rated stuff, more competitive stuff, probably Beastmaster will be the first option to go, because over there in that high rated shit, every 1% increase counts, doesn't matter for what it is. But thank you for the question, man, and thank you once again for sticking around, dog. Really appreciate it. Much love to you. Alright, so next question is from Charbel the Ninja on Discord. So I have a question that I think not many have thought of. So explain to me something. Legendaries do not work past 116, yeah? No, they don't. Okay, so what if we tweak an 111 where legendaries still don't work and PvP with players who are 116 plus? Do we still have the advantages over them, or does our legendaries automatically turn off while hitting someone 116 plus? That's an actually really good question, man. Makes you think. Well, I know for a fact that they did recently patched up this scaling thing between players, so that's one thing. I think the mechanics of the legendary will still work. It's just that it will be much harder for a twink like that to deliver good damage to a higher level player, such as 116 plus. Now we are taking, of course, World PvP. And I know for a fact that nowadays, because of all the scaling thingies, you can really mess up a lower level player if he doesn't have the proper gear, right? So let's say he's like, I don't know, 100 and you're 110 with full-on mythic gear. That will matter, because gear will matter once again in BFA PvP. You'll definitely squash that guy. So there's still work to be done between scaling things. But my 2 cents in it is that the mechanics will work. It's just that you won't do enough damage to the guy to have that competitive edge. But hey, we'll just have to see. So far, there's silence on Blizzard's part on these things. Wait and see. But thank you for the question, Charbel, and keep on coming, bro. Okay, next one is from Sir Elements. I love Matt Season 2. Yeah, man, he's a great YouTuber. Great video, by the way. Thank you. My question, what is your opinion on the GCD changes, and what classes do you think will be affected the most, both poorly and positively? Oh man, I hate the GCD changes. I mean, I've talked about it in a couple of my videos. If their intent was to just slow the game down, it's really not the case. I mean, of course you're gonna feel it really slow at the beginning of the expansion and even at 120 while getting your gear, but once you get a decent amount of gear with haste and shit like that, it would be a fast-paced game once again. And I'm talking PvP wise, of course. In most of the classes who have some sort of instant ability that has been placed on GCD is just fucked up. It's bad because you come from a long history of expansions when you had a lot of ability off of the GCDs, a lot of abilities off of the GCD now being on GCD, which is terrible gameplay, and it does take a while to get used to. I don't like it, as I've said multiple times, and whoever has the GCD on abilities is affected. I don't see no positive in this. I literally don't see any classes being affected in a positive way because of the GCD. I think it's a stupid move. They were really stubborn about it, and it went to show for classes like Fury Warriors and such. They cannot stick to their guns on this because it's just stupid gameplay material. That's it. I hate it, man. I hate it. But thanks for the question, man. I don't hate you. I love you. Question was great. I don't like the fucking GCD changes. All classes were affected negatively who were like really impacted. Positive, I don't see anything. So I hope it answers the question. Thank you very much, yo. And let's see. Next question is from Nicola Persik. So, I got a question. What was the feeling playing against BM Hunter in Legion? Keep up the good work, you should stream. Thanks, man. BM Hunter in Legion, I think it was really strong, man. Especially for a Ret Paladin, which, contrary to popular beliefs, they were squishy. There was not much you can do against them because you will get catted for days. The damage was ridiculous. And it was a hard fight. This is why in most of the cases I either played Cupid with another hunter, to help me out with the damage and shit, or I played as Vanguards, with a DK to have like all the time a permanent slow on the target, because if I were to go 1v1 against the BM hunter, rarely I would have the chance to win it. So they were strong, and I see them being strong as well in BFA. Now I know, Nicola, you're gonna play BM because you said so in the comments. I remember that shit. So I think you're gonna have a good time. Yeah, you should stream, definitely, man. It's in the works, as I said in the previous Q&A. Just like have to figure out a schedule, and because it's different than recording and editing after that, right? You have to be like spontaneous and shit like that, and you have to like always talk. I don't know how it's going to be, but if I am gonna do it, I want to make it like really, really good, like quality shit. Okay, so it's coming for sure. But with this, guys, this wraps it up for the Q&A. Thank you once again very much for all of the questions. I'm going to remind you that if you want to be featured in the Q&A, you just throw in a question on the comment section here. I'm going to put a little heart on it, and that means it's going to be answered in the next Q&A. And also, if you guys want to get some awesome t-shirts, you're going to have the link in the description. Go ahead and check them out. They're really awesome. And apart from that, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.